The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. CBSE Class 11. This is the first chapter of the textbook Hornbill. Long answer type questions need to be answered in about 120 to 150 words and they carry 5 marks. In this lesson, I'm going to discuss some important examination oriented questions and answers. This is part 2 of the question answer series. The links to the other videos can be found in the description box. Question: mention the 3 phases of the author's relationship with his grandmother before he left the country to study abroad. Answer: the author's relationship with his grandmother may be divided into 3 phases. The first phase was the period of the author's early childhood. During this phase, he used to live with his grandmother in the village. She used to take complete care of him from waking him up and getting him ready to accompanying him to the school. They shared a good friendship with each other. The author admired her and describes her as an expanse of pure serenity. The second phase was a time when the author and the grandmother moved to the city to live with the author's parents. She disapproved of the concepts of Western education. This was a turning point in their friendship because now they saw less of each other and grew distant. The third phase was the time the author joined the university. He was given a room of his own, and the common link of their friendship was snapped. The grandmother turned to spinning the wheel and reciting prayers all day long. She had accepted her seclusion with silence. Question: mention 3 ways in which the author's grandmother spent her days after he grew up. Answer: the interaction between the narrator and his grandmother started to reduce since they came to the city where the author joined an English school. When he went to the university and had a room of his own, the common link of friendship between them was snapped. The grandmother accepted it as her fate and found new ways of spending her time. From sunrise to sunset, she sat by the spinning wheel and rarely talked to anyone. Another way in which the old lady spent her time was by feeding the sparrows. She would sit in the veranda and break bread into little bits and throw them to hundreds of little birds that gathered around her. They came and perched on her legs and shoulders. Feeding the sparrows used to be the happiest half hour of the day for her. Question: describe the changing relationship between the author and his grandmother. Did their feelings for each other change? Answer: the changing circumstances did have an impact on the relationship between the author and his grandmother. They shared a meaningful and close friendship in the initial years of togetherness. In this period, she was the exclusive, undisputed custodian, mentor, and architect of the child Khushwant. A turning point came when they shifted to the city to live with the author's parents. There, he joined an English school. She now remained confined to the house as she could not accompany him to the school. She could not help him in his studies. She did not like the kind of education being given to him at the English school. She was disturbed as there was no teaching about God and scriptures in the new school. Yet she reconciled and involved herself with spinning the wheel and feeding the sparrows. When the narrator grew up and joined the university, he had a separate room of his own. She could not involve herself in activities and discussions with him, hence, the common link of friendship between them was snapped. She accepted her seclusion with resignation. Later, when the author went abroad for higher studies, she went to leave him at the railway station and kissed his forehead with affection. It seemed as if she had kept herself alive till he returned to his homeland. She died soon after. All these instances illustrate that their feelings for each other did not change even though distances grew between them. Question. Mention the odd way in which the author's grandmother behaved just before she died. Answer. Though diagnosed with a mild fever by the doctor, grandmother knew that her end was near. For the first time in her life, she had made a change in her routine and stopped her prayers. She did not want to waste any more time talking to anybody. She decided to spend the last few hours of her life reciting prayers and telling the beads of her rosary. The family members protested, but she ignored their protests. She lay peacefully in her bed, entirely devoted to prayers, till her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. Question. Mention the unique way in which the sparrows expressed their sorrow at the grandmother's death. Answer. When the grandmother died, thousands of sparrows expressed their sorrow. They flew in and sat scattered in the veranda near her dead body. They did not chirrup, they mourned her death in utter silence. They even ignored the breadcrumbs thrown at them by the author's mother. They sat for some time and then flew away silently after the body was carried away for cremation. The breadcrumbs were swept away by the sweeper the next morning. That was their way of showing respect to their patron. Thus, they paid their silent tribute to the grand old lady in a very unique manner. Question. The author's grandmother was a religious person. What are the different ways in which we come to know this? Answer. The author's grandmother was a kind and compassionate lady. She was always busy telling the beads of her rosary. Her lips constantly moved in an inaudible prayer. Inaudible means something that cannot be heard. She used to get up early in the morning and recited a morning prayer in a monotonous sing song way. Even, even when she accompanied the author to his school, she sat in a temple and read scriptures while he studied. Her inaudible prayers continued. When she went to leave him at the railway station, later in the city, she was unhappy that there was no religious teaching at school. She would use all her time from sunrise to sunset in spinning the wheel and praying. Even when she went to leave him at the railway station, her prayers continued. Before dying, she stopped talking to her family members and turned to prayers and counting the beads. Question. Briefly describe grandmother's love for other creatures. How did they reciprocate her compassion? Answer. Grandmother had love and compassion for animals. In the village, she fed the street dogs with stale chapatis. They followed her home, growling and fighting for the chapatis thrown to them. In the city, she took to feeding the sparrows. She would sit in the veranda in the afternoon and break the breadcrumbs into small crumbs. She would throw these crumbs to hundreds of sparrows that gathered around her. They would perch themselves on her legs, shoulders, and even on her head and fill the air with their noisy chirruping. It was the happiest half hour of the day for her. On the death of grandmother, the sparrows paid a silent tribute to her. Thousands of them gathered around her dead body. They neither chirruped nor accepted the breadcrumbs given to them. They mourned her death in silence and flew away after her body was taken away for cremation.